All right.
Hello, and welcome to the On Deck Circle. I'm Maddox Martin, joined by my good friend and co-host
Evan Morse.
Evan. Welcome. It's always great to be back with you here at the Bill Austin Radio Studio and the Edit Bays here at Cronkite. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Maddox? It's been a wonderful day today. It's not too hot today, so we ain't got to 1010 yet today. So it's been a good day.
We have not gotten up there to as bad as it has been, but I mean we're getting there. I think tomorrow it's going to get right back to like 110, 112.
Right back to regular scheduled programming, yeah.
You know, and I got to say I have one thing to complain about, and that's the fact that I haven't watched any baseball yet today. We don't have a game in for another about hour, so haven't been able to turn on MLB Big Inning. I'll to the MLB higher ups that are listening, dude. Guys, I really wish that you guys did more with MLB Big Inning. I love, it's like the MLB's version of Red Zone, and it's really awesome, but it could be a little bit more. So that's going to be my request to the MLB higher ups that are obviously listening to this podcast.
Yep, all the MLB higher ups listen to this podcast. Anything baseball related, checking with the On Deck Circle. We probably got you covered. So, Maddox, should we just get right into it? Let's
not dance around anything. Let's just jump right in. We're going into our MLB awards predictions. We did our MVP predictions in the last podcast, but we can kind of just summarize that real quick. It's the races between, in the NL it's PCA and Shohei, and then in the AL it's Jordan, and that's about it.
Yep.
Jordan's going to win the AL MVP. I mean, that's
not debatable. I literally put all the money I can down on it right now if I was a betting man, but I don't bet. So
I mean, it's minus 2,000. I don't even know how much you're really getting there. Pete Crow Armstrong and Shohei. Right now, PCA is leading. According to ESPN, they're minus 190. Shohei plus 155. I took PCA. Evan, you took Shohei. It's a coin flip, really. But that's not what we're here for. We know the MVPs already. We're here to talk about the Cy Young, the Rookie of the Year. Maybe we'll talk about potentially the Manager of the Year or Platinum Gloves, even though that one also, it's PCA for the Platinum Glover. I don't think we really need that much of a debate. But you want to just get into this Cy Young talk?
Yeah, I mean, like the Cy Young, or like the MVP, I should say, sorry. Cy Young has only really been, it's kind of funneled down into two guys for both the AL and the NL. NL is a little bit more of a kind of, who's going to win the award.
It's a closed case. I mean, unless Mizorowski gets hurt, something like he would need a tragic September. He would need to be just completely awful in September for that record for Sale to end up winning that over him. But I mean,
Sale or Sanchez too, but Sanchez hasn't had it as good as he was at the start of the season. So, is it going to be Sale? Is it going to be Sanchez as the second place? It doesn't really matter. I mean, what really matters here and what we really need to talk about is Jacob Mizorowski. Okay, we've been talking about him all summer, more maybe me than you, but I love Jacob Mizorowski. I love when he plays ball, and I've met him before actually too. Fun story, really? Yeah, down at the Rip Valley Card Shop. But I love Jacob Mizorowski. And I mean, his stats just jump off the page. But what you can't really look at, why he's so good, the stats don't show why he's so good. I mean, he has one of the shortest deliveries in the league, as in when he throws the ball, the distance that it takes to get to the plate is the shortest, and that's because he's 6'7".
And he gets a crazy extension, too. I mean, yeah. There are tall guys who don't get out there nearly as much as Miz because the way he pitches, he is so far down the mound that, talking about Mizorowski, you look at his ERA, 1.68. He's contending for one of the best ERAs since 1980. I mean, the best since 1980 is Dwight Gooden in 85. He had a 1.53 ERA. I don't think he's going to get there, but it brings me back to Bob Gibson's season back in 1968, where he pitched a 1.12 ERA, set the record. But the biggest thing, that ERA made Major League Baseball change the rules. They shortened the mound length. They shortened the mound because of what Bob Gibson was doing. He was doing this same type of stuff. He was utilizing the mound to his advantage. He was getting so far out there. And now Gibson wasn't a guy who was 6'8" or whatever Mizorowski is, but he was still using it to his advantage, and just was one of the best. Was the best pitcher in baseball that year, and one of the best pitchers of all time. I don't think it's outlandish to see if Mizorowski keeps this up over the next couple years. Maybe there is another rule change. I mean, they've been talking about potentially moving the mound back an inch or so, which doesn't sound like much, but it really does matter.
It does make a big difference,
especially
huge difference
for a guy like Mizorowski. Every single thing he can use to his advantage, he's been able to. And 1.68 ERA, 216 strikeouts, 7.6 WHIP. I mean, the fact that he has 5 losses this season is surprising to me, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, and I mean, too, the thing is, too, is what I really love about Mizorowski is when he pitches, he doesn't lose velocity through his innings. I mean, he literally, like, he throws some of the fastest, if not the fastest pitches in the major league, at least for a starter, too. Like, he's probably one of the fastest starters. His fastball touches almost 104. Mm-hmm. I mean, it does touch 104. It could get up to 105. I'm looking up his fastest pitch right now this season. I think, yeah, it was 105.5 miles an hour, which, I mean, listen, to put this into context, first of all, a guy throwing 105 it's so hard. So hard to hit. But when it's Jacob Mizorowski and he literally he's throwing almost like way closer than anyone else in the league does. Like, it makes it so much harder because they have to pick up on it, they have to recognize it as a hitter, and then you have to get to it. That's so much harder to do because he kind of shortens the length that the batter has to decide, hey, am I going to swing this pitch? Okay, I am. Now I got to swing. Now I got to get the bat up to speed. That takes time, and he shortens that time that they're allowed to do that, and that's why he's so good. It's just that alone, and also he's just a dominant pitcher. Like, he's so good.
Yeah, I mean, there's one term that gets thrown around a lot, especially in modern day baseball with Mizorowski specifically: perceived velocity. That is what it looks like. Now, the radar gun may say 104, 105, but with how far he's getting down the mound, that 104 turns into 107, turns into 108. Mm-hmm. I mean, his StatCast perceived velocity seen up to 107.8 on that fastball, and it's just otherworldly. And, you know, we've talked about, I think that he is the best, you know, comparison. If we want to go into other sports, talk about the NBA, Victor Wembanyama. What do they call him? The alien. I think if Major League Baseball had their alien, it's Jacob Mizorowski. He is this. Not only does he kind of look like an alien, like Wembanyama does, but he plays like one too. And he's you know, it was Paul Skeens versus Mizorowski. That was going to be a big debate. All of a sudden, I mean, they're not even in the same stratosphere anymore. Mizorowski has usurped him as the best pitcher in baseball. He's usurped. I'd go with Tarek Skubal. I don't think there's a pitcher on this planet I'd rather have on my team other than Jacob Mizorowski. I mean, he has just been that good all season long, and he hasn't shown any signs of it stopping.
Yeah, I mean, and it really brings into question is how long can he keep this up for? I mean, we're going to see this for the next 10 years, Maddox? Who knows? Who knows?
You know, he that is something that I worry about. That's the one thing with guys throwing as hard as he does. The only pitcher that throws anywhere near as hard as he does that hasn't dealt with major injuries is Aroldis Chapman. And, I mean, he's an anomaly of his own, and he's a freak of his own. He's able to generate so much velocity using his lower body. Mizorowski doesn't really have that lower body strength that he does. So, you know, he's 24 years old. He's put on a good bit of weight over this past offseason, which has really helped him with his fastball and just with his health in general. So I'm not ringing any alarms on him anytime soon. I mean, haven't seen anything to make me think that he's able to stay healthy. I mean, I think he's good. I think he's going to be okay. But that's going to be something for the future. It's hard. You can't really predict that.
You can't predict injuries. The injuries happen really when they want to happen. Like, and you can't say that this guy's going to get injured tomorrow. And that's the thing about baseball is it can change in a day.
Mm-hmm. And you were talking about Miz being able to just throw so hard, so deep into games. A guy that also does that really well is my runner-up for the NL Cy Young, Chris Sale. I mean, Chris Sale's 37. This guy has been in baseball for so long, and he dealt with injuries for the first half of his career in Chicago and Boston especially. He was traded, and, you know, I don't think a lot of people really remember the trade to Atlanta. It was Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn Grissom was awful with the Red Sox. He was so bad he got sent down like a month into the season. And he's Vaughn Grissom, to give him credit, he's been finding himself in Los Angeles with the Angels. He's been a solid player, but I mean, Chris Sale goes and wins Cy Young that year. He was really good in 2025 before he got hurt, like the rest of that Braves team. And now this year, he's back to just being as dominant as he's ever been. And I think that, and if this was a world without Jacob Misiorowski in it, he's probably the NL Cy Young. But Misiorowski's just, he's been so dominant. It would take something happening to Miz, either a disastrous stretch of starts where his ERA jumps up to 2, or I mean, you know, and I obviously not trying to put it out there, but an injury as well would probably do it. But Chris Sale has still been so effective, and 95th percentile chase rate, doesn't walk guys, strikes out over 30% of batters. He batters whiff 30% of the time, and his fastball velo still at 96, but that's his average fastball velocity. That fastball, I mean, when he really wants to, he'll go up there to 99. He'll go up there to 100 late in ball games. He's seen it countless times. The 6th inning, the 7th inning, when you need just one more pitch, he just puts it all into it. And he's been so good, and he's a big reason why the Braves are as good as they are.
Yeah, I mean, he's been terrific this season. And you mentioned the Braves being good because of him. I mean, it's true. The Braves, they're stars. They haven't been performing. Acuna, where's he been? He's been off in La La Land, as I would like to say. But the Braves have still been winning games, and that might be because of their pitching. I mean, we'll see what happens in the playoffs, because they will make the playoffs. I think it's a lock. I don't think
it's a lock for the playoffs. As this, I mean, over this past week, where the Braves have still been pretty bad, 3-7 in their last 10. The Phillies 9-1. It's a 3-game deficit. Philly is only 3 games behind, and I was watching the game yesterday, hoping that, you know, there's a chance the Braves are going to be able to get a game up on Philly. But I mean, just an all-time comeback from the Phillies, down to their final out, their final strike, 4-0. They end up tying the game up, and then Kyle Schwarber hit a 460-foot moonshot. I made a post on it last night or yesterday. Just what a game that was, and you know, it's hard for me. That's something about doing this podcast that. It was hard for me at first. I've started to kind of gradually become more able to not be biased, because, man, I hate making a positive video about the Phillies. I hate talking nice things about the Phillies, but that's where we are right now. And you want to talk about the Phillies, the other guy in there.
Yeah, Maddox, you want to mention the Phillies. My runner-up for the NL Cy Young is Christopher Sanchez, I think. Okay. And I think he could still win it, honestly. I don't think that he's completely out of the race. I mean, like you said, it would need to take a massive fall off from Jacob Misiorowski. But Christopher Sanchez, interesting pitcher to me. First of all, you just look, he has a 3-pitch mix: sinker, changeup, slider, which that's a very interesting mix. And the fact that he only throws 3 pitches as a starter too, that's even weirder to me, because most of these guys have 4 pitches, 5 pitches, sometimes 6. And sometimes those more pitches help hitters get off of, oh, you know, he's going to throw a fastball or he's going to throw this. But Christopher Sanchez has 3 pitches, and he performs them super, super, super well, all right? He's got actually the highest WAR for a pitcher in the all of baseball at 7.1. And his ERA, it was really low at the start of the year. It's up to 2.62, which is still very low. I mean, that's not a bad ERA at all. The problem is he's got a 1.2 whip. I mean, that's all right.
It's all right, but I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't compare to Misiorowski.
Misiorowski has .759. So,
just ridiculous.
No one's touching him. But yeah, I mean, he's been terrific all season. He was the NL Cy Young frontrunner at the start of the year when there was like 8 different names thrown around. Misiorowski being one of them.
Yeah,
and he has really led this Phillies team back from the depths. They were down and out very early at the start of the year. We were making jokes, laughing about them. And here they are. They sit 3 games back from the Braves. And a lot of that has to do with Christopher Sanchez. I mean, he has just been lights out. He gets people to chase. He strikes out people often. He doesn't walk often. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, do we remember? I mean, we can go back to that end of April. I mean, through the whole month of May, he didn't give up a run. He threw 50 2/3 scoreless innings in a row, with 53 strikeouts and only 6 walks during that run. Just an all-time incredible stretch from him. The 5th longest single-season scoreless streak since in the live ball era. So I mean, he was really phenomenal, and at that point, I thought it was a lock for him to win Cy Young. But out of nowhere, I mean, Jacob Misiorowski was already great last year, but he turned into the best pitcher on the planet after that record
Surprised everyone.
ended. So, I mean, as of now, the NL Cy Young is just a fight for second, really. I mean, there's that outside chance, but it's not going to happen, whether it be Sale, whether it be Sanchez, unless something something goes wrong with Misiorowski. I mean, that's going to be the thing. Where it does heat up, we've got a nice little 1A and 1B race in the AL Cy Young department. Cam Schlittler versus Dylan Cease. The AL East, I mean, they're the top four in terms of favorites for Cy Young now. That's Sonny Gray and Drew Rasmussen, who are both 35-1 odds, so not very good. But Dylan Cease at plus 140 and Cam Schlittler at minus 165. Really, really impressive stuff from these two.
Yeah, and you talk about who should we talk about first, Max? You want to talk about Cease? You want to talk about Schlittler first?
Let's give the seniority, give the veteran his credit. Dylan Cease has been doing it for a while. And talk about guys that have been able to kind of will their team back into a playoff race. We were talking about that with Christopher Sanchez, but Dylan Cease has that Toronto offense has been pretty rough.
The Blue Jays are staying in there somehow,
but they're hanging on in the AL wild card, and Dylan Cease is a very big reason why. 2.37 ERA. He's got a whip of 1.06, a 2.39 FIP, fielding independent pitching. So that just takes out account what does he do without a defense? Strikeout, walk. That's going to be the big things. He leads the AL with a 2.39 FIP. I mean, he's been really good, and people look at win-loss record. I'm so glad that record when it comes to pitchers doesn't matter as much as it used to. There's been times you can look back in the past at Cy Young races where the better pitcher didn't win Cy Young because the other guy had more wins. Dylan Cease is 8-5. That's not his fault. I mean, he has the same amount of losses as Jacob Misiorowski. He's not better. I think Misiorowski is definitely better. But wins and losses come down to your offense and what team you're pitching for. And Dylan Cease does not have a very good offense around him. But I mean, right now Toronto is sitting. I mean, they're sitting they're in the playoff race. That's I'll give them credit for that. They're in the playoff race.
Yeah. Cease has been great this year. I mean, he's been, again, the one bright spot on a very bad Blue Jays team who went to the ALCS, or went to the World Series, last year. Lost in 7 to the Dodgers in one of the closest Game 7s I've ever witnessed in my lifetime.
Just an all-time.
Leads the AL in strikeouts at 209. That's going to be more by the end of the year, obviously. But, yeah, he really has kind of been just that hidden gem on the Blue Jays. Because who else on the Blue Jays has actually been doing anything? No one, except Kazuma Okamoto. And somehow the Blue Jays are in the playoff race. They're very well in it. I mean, they're right there. And that is mostly because of Dylan Cease. He has carried them through games. I mean, if we just look at his recent outings, let me pull it up real quick. He's just been, here we go, Yankees, 6 2/3 innings, 1 earned run. Against the Yankees again, 6 1/3 inning, 2 earned runs. Against the Red Sox, he didn't have as good of an outing. He still went 7 Ks, 3 earned runs in 5 innings. But it's just the stats are so good, and the team around him has just been so terrible. Like, he's been the best player on the Blue Jays, I think, in my mind this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
and yeah, the stats are great. Again, 209 strikeouts, and look, his strikeout to walk ratio. I think he strikes out people 3 times more than he walks them, which is great. Even more than that.
Yeah,
I mean, again, you mentioned 1.060. I mean, he's been great. But there's been another pitcher on the Yankees, same division.
Yeah, it's that AL East. They've got the pitching line.
Yeah, he is right now the AL Cy Young favorite. And in my mind, I think he's going to win the award. But he has really carried this Yankees pitching staff and really the whole team that has been plagued with injuries. I'm, of course, talking about Cam Schlittler. He has been great this year, and Max Fried was injured. Garrett Cole came back. He was on injury at the start of the year, right? Yes?
Yes.
He currently has a 2.16 ERA with a .962 whip, 193 strikeouts, so a little bit less strikeouts than Cease, so it kind of what do you value more? But, yeah, this is his first first full season. He didn't do
Yeah,
a
I mean,
full season last year.
he came onto the scene at the end of last year, and it was really that playoff run, or not even playoff run, but just a couple of really good playoff performances from Schlittler that kind of he made his mark on baseball last season and carried it over into this year. I mean, what really stands out to me is that he throws a fastball 90% of the time. Whether that be his four seam, his cutter, or his sinker, he mixes those up pretty well. But then he only throws his curveball 9% of the time, and he's thrown his slider. I'm trying to look at it here. He's thrown his slider 28 times, and that could also just be a misread. But he throws 3 fastballs and then a curveball predominantly. It's really interesting stuff and I'm surprised that it's worked as much as it has. I mean, another guy who strikes out a lot of guys now. Where he differs from Cease is that Dylan Cease, he does walk a good bit of guys. 11.1% walk rate. That's 19th percentile in all of baseball. Whereas you look at Schlittler, 30% K rate, just about the same as, or a little bit worse than Dylan Cease, rather. He's at 36, but his walk rate is 6%. So that stands out a lot to me. They throw about the same. I mean, Dylan Cease sits around 97 and Schlittler around 98. This is another toss-up for me. This really is a toss-up for me. But
this is a tough one for me too, Maddox.
I mean, Schlittler has carried that pitching staff specifically for New York. I mean, that was a guy they've missed guys like Rodon, Fried, or not Chris Sale. Yeah, I meant Fried and then Garrett Cole. That's Garrett Cole, Fried, Rodon. Just that whole pitching staff has been plagued with injuries, like you said. Schlittler stepped up to the occasion. It really is a toss-up for me. Where are you going here?
Maddox, you know what? I'm going to go with Dylan Cease.
Okay.
I think that he has been the better pitcher in the year. And if you look how he throws the ball, you watch the games, and then you go look at Schlittler, I think Cease, especially you have to mention too, the team around Cease isn't as good. I mean, that doesn't really matter as much, but I think that he's been playing better.
It's tough to factor in, what they're doing for the team.
Yeah.
I mean, on paper, I think Schlittler does pitch in the better rotation, but with how many of those guys have been out and missed the year, I'd put it pretty much on the same level in terms of just in terms of pitching wise, so who's got better pitching staff. But when it comes to run support, Schlittler definitely does get the benefit of the doubt with a lot of help with a pretty solid offense in New York. Now you also factor in where do they play. I mean, Schlittler pitches in a pretty hitter-friendly ballpark with that short porch and right. Dylan Cease pitching in a not as much of a hitter-friendly park in Toronto. I don't personally, to me, if I were a voter, fingers crossed someday, right? I don't really I don't know how much I would factor that in. But I'll take Kim Schlittler. He's got a lower ERA and a lower WHIP. They are very close together, and Dylan Cease does have more strikeouts. Again, pretty similar. They're two pretty similar pitchers in terms of stats, and it really is a toss up right now. Like I said, -165 for Schlittler, +140 for Cease, but that subject to change after every start with how we're here in the dog days of the year, Evan. So
the dog days counter out.
It's tough.
Something also to note too, and we'll go on to the rookie of the year. Cease has 14 less innings pitched, which it's not really a lot, but that does actually matter to the voters. And it could affect the voting. I mean, it's not the end of the year, so we don't really know how many innings they're going to end up with. Maybe Schlittler, he'll go out and he'll get bombed in an outing, and there goes his Cy Young race. I don't really know, but the innings, if they do stay on this trajectory, and let's say Cam Schlittler somehow ends with like 20 more innings pitched than Cease does, that's going to factor in a little bit, and I think that might give it to Schlittler. And he does have the better stats too on paper, but I think Cease is the better pitcher in my mind.
That's fair. Now we can get into the rookie of the years. I think that this is going to be a pretty interesting one. I mean, in the NL, the AL is pretty cut and dry. I think it's going to be Kevin McGonigal. Murakami is definitely still in the race, and I mean, he's in the race. If he gets hot down the stretch, things can happen. Who knows if he gets back to how he was hitting back in April, May, and June. He missed time with injury. But he's still a very, very good hitter. I think everyone in baseball, including myself, we were all wrong about Murakami. I mean, coming from Japan, it didn't seem. I personally wasn't too high on him. I really wasn't. But he's really found a home in Chicago, and a big part of that youth movement there that the White Sox are brewing up is they still sit in that playoff spot, 3.5 games up over the Guardians. It feels like they're always about 3 games up over the Guardians or the Twins or the Royals, whoever it is, or But anyways, going to the NL, it's a 3-headed race between J.J. Weatherholt, Sal Stewart, and Carson Benj, and it's a tough one. I really don't know where to go here.
A lot of people, kind of forget about Carson Bench because he plays for the Mets.
He has snuck up. He's made some really awesome plays in the field. But he has one of the best arms I've seen. This guy, he's got 96.1 as his velocity, his arm strength, 99th percentile in arm value and arm strength. Also really fast, 84th percentile in speed. His range isn't too great, so that's something you see. I mean, there's a lot of guys like that who they look like a really good defender and everything. They make good plays. Is that because they're a really good defender, or is that because they're just really fast? And who knows? He's a pretty average guy in terms of range, outs above average. He has 0, but he makes up for it with his rocket arm, and that's a guy that reminds me of a guy like Ronald Acuna, who is not the best defender in right field by any means, especially after 2 ACL injuries, but still has just such an incredible arm, and that's what Carson Bench is all about.
And he's on pace for a 2020 season. I mean, he's got one more stolen base, which he'll probably get by the end of the year. I mean, not that crazy to say he'll get one stolen base in a month, and he needs 4 more home runs. That's not impossible. It's in a month and a half we got? It's right. August 24th today, so he's got a month and a half-ish, month and a week. So it's possible, and we could see Carson Bench have a 2020 season, which would be great. But there's 2 guys that sit in front of him in my mind. You already mentioned them, Sal Stewart, J.J. Weatherholt. Let's talk about Sal Stewart first, who I think many think are kind of the second place right now. But he's been great for the Reds, who they're kind of falling out of the playoff race.
They've been done. I think they've been checked out since June or July.
But they were in there early, and that was because of Sal Stewart. 263 batting average, 27 bombs, which has been terrific, and then he's got an 808 OPS. So he's having a really, really good season. Again, power heavy. He gets on base well too. He's got a 336 OBP, which he walks about league average. It's all right. But if you're hitting 27 home runs and you get on base a third of the time, it's pretty good to me. Rookie of the Year contention for sure. Maddox, what else you got to say about him?
Yeah, Sal Stewart he's a hitter. That's what he does. I mean, 27 homers with an 808 OPS is pretty solid stuff from a rookie. I'd like to see a little bit more out of him. He's 22. He played a little bit last year and wasn't too shabby either. I think he's pretty pedestrian in terms of walk rate, K rate, whiff rate, chase, everything like that. All of those advanced metrics, but the tape doesn't lie. This guy hits the ball hard. He barrels the ball up better than 85% of the league. He has an expected slugging, so it's not like he's been lucky either. His expected batting average, 256, right about where he's at. Expected slugging percentage, 471, right where he's at. xWOB of 348. These are all stuff that looks really good on paper, and it's really good in baseball too. I mean, look at his hits chart, his spray chart. He's going to all sides of the field with his with the home run ball. It's really good stuff from Sal Stewart. He's young and he's just gotten better. There hasn't been a fall off or a decline. He's been hitting the ball really well. Not much of a defender at all. He's a first baseman. It doesn't really matter. But man, it's tough to go through these 3 guys. You want to just go ahead and get into our last guy here in the NL?
Yeah, our last guy, J.J. Weatherholt, playing for the Cardinals, who they're out of the playoff race as well. I mean, they're kind of close, but the NL is just so locked up right now. But him and Christian Walker, they've really been the did I say Christian Walker? Yeah.
You did.
They've been the 2 kind of steel trident heads of this Cardinals team.
Wait, you said, Christian Walker. It's Jordan.
Christian Walker.
Jordan.
What?
Jordan
Walker. Yeah.
Yes. Christian Walker, I think he's the Diamondbacks guy.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Christian Walker. Anyways, again, he doesn't really. His average is a little bit lower than Sal Stewart's, 244 with 17 home runs. But he gets on base a lot, 347 on base percentage. He got an OPS of 724. Again, all these guys, like, they're pretty like above league average, I would say, with their stats. But yeah, JJ Weatherholt has been very, very good for the Cardinals, and I think in backup to Walker, he's been great. Is he the favorite in my mind? I don't know. This race is so tough to really talk about all these guys and then look at, okay, well, who's better than who? But one thing that JJ Weatherholt does well that none of these other two does is the fielding. Maddox. He's got a great range. He's 100 percentile in fielding run value in the MLB at
22 outs above average.
21.
21, is that where it's at?
Yeah, 22. I don't know. We're probably looking at different things. Yeah. He doesn't chase a lot either. And you talk about spray chart, again, all over the place, Yeah, Maddox. What more do I need to say? He's been terrific in the field. I mean, he's probably going to win a Gold Glove.
He'll be a Gold Glover for the second baseman. It does get it really does get interesting because it's tough to look when you look at advanced metrics for stuff like this. For the future, I think JJ Weatherholt, if I had to pick one of these three guys to have on my team for the future, I'd pick JJ Weatherholt. He's plus defender, plus defender at second base. Everything with his bat looks pretty promising. He doesn't chase a lot. He strikes out he 16% strikeout rate, 78th percentile. He walks a good bit as well. He doesn't whiff it very much. Yeah. He squares the ball up very well. These are all really good stuff, really positive signs you like to see. Now, when we want to talk about like this season, rookie of the year, I'm honestly torn between all three of them, but I'm gonna take JJ Weatherholt with that 4.9 WAR, a great defender. Now that's subject to change. I'm honestly might change my mind on that like tomorrow. I mean, it's all of this is subject to change in these tight races. So Sal Stewart 2.4 WAR compared to Weatherholt's 4.9, but it's tough. Sal Stewart leads them in pretty much every other category offensively. Weatherholt makes up for that in his WAR, and that is that is what it is. As I'm pulling up Carson Bench, I like getting to compare all three of them. Where is that? Let me get Carson Bench here. And
here's the thing with me, Maddox. Here's what I'm thinking. Listen, JJ Weatherholt has 50 less RBIs than Sal Stewart does. Does his defense make up for that much?
It probably doesn't.
I don't think so.
That's honestly fair. I
don't think so. I don't
either.
I think Sal Stewart is the better player. Now, but if you said, tomorrow, Evan, we're opening up a baseball team. We need a second baseman, young second baseman. Who are we taking? I'd take JJ Weatherholt hands down because here's the thing. You can't teach speed. You can't teach fielding. I mean, I guess you can, but that comes with speed. And so far, I mean, JJ Weatherholt has that. The only thing that is, I guess, bad per se about his game, and it's not, is his batting. It's league average. It's above league average, actually. The statistics aren't, but what he does at the plate is above league average. And the thing for me is that can be taught. So if we're looking at a franchise player, JJ Weatherholt is going to be more of a franchise player than Sal Stewart. Yes. Is he going to win Rookie of the Year? I don't think so. I think Sal Stewart will. I don't think the betting odds are the same as my opinion, but
honestly, and you kind of convinced me. You talked me out of JJ Weatherholt, but I'm not going to go to Sal Stewart. I'm going to give it to Carson Bench. And that's also me predicting that he continues to hit really well as we head into September because he's been hitting really well as of late. I mean, I'm talking about I go to advanced stats and I know that ruffles some people's feathers. His xWOB expected weighted on base average was at 318, right about league average back in July. It's up to 360 now as we are about a week away from September. So from where I'm going with Carson Bench, if we were going right now today, who's my Rookie of the Year, I'd go to Sal Stewart. But if we're talking about for the rest of the season, I think that I'm going to see more from Carson Bench than from Sal Stewart. It's going to be tough to see what the voters do here. Do they? I mean, Weatherholt
Three
for one.
worthy candidates. That's what I'll say.
Yes,
Three worthy candidates.
JJ Weatherholt has about 80 less points on his OPS compared to Sal Stewart. But he leads Benj and Stewart in on base percentage. So he gets on base the most. He doesn't have the most hits. He has the least amount of hits of the three and the most plate appearances as well. It's interesting. Carson Benj has the highest batting average, 3.1 WAR. I don't know. It's a toss up. Before I start overthinking it, I'm just gonna go with Carson Benj.
All right, Maddox. That's our awards. Maddox, should we talk about our teams for a little bit while we segue into the next segment? Which let's go.
Let's go ahead.
We're in the Braves jersey as always. You talk about the Braves first.
Get
right into it.
Let's talk about the Braves. I had a lot of fun. For the first time in a while, I've had a lot of fun watching the Braves yesterday. They beat the Brewers 4-2 in the Little League Classic in Williamsport. It was a lot of fun. It's great I love the Little League World Series. I think it's a great experience. And I think the Little League Classic is fun. I thought that it was better than the Field of Dreams game. That game hasn't been good since the first year they did it. And, Michael Harris hit a home run. Ronald got on base 3 times. He walked twice, got a hit. Ozzie Albies went 2 for 5. Lane Thomas had a 2-hit day. Austin Riley had a 2-hit day. Things are looking up for the Braves. And another guy I wanted to talk about is Tyler Mahle. As I pull this up right here, Tyler Mahle, with 5 weeks to go in the season, we want to look at starting pitchers traded at the deadline. So since the deadline, starting pitchers traded. We had guys, Tarek Skubal, of course, Clay Holmes, Foster Griffin, Robbie Ray, Jose Soriano, Dustin May. Who is number one on that list? It's Tyler Mahle. 1.52 ERA. That is a 1.29 points higher than the second guy on the list. Clay Holmes is a 2.81 ERA in that time frame. Also a 24.7% K rate, which is good for second best on the list. Walks guys at a 5.4% clip. That's the lowest on the list. Also thrown almost the most innings out of anybody on that list as well. Tyler Mahle was a guy who, if you just looked at his season stats at the trade deadline, looked like a dud. Who really cares? That 5+ ERA he had coming into as he got traded, that was from a really bad April and a May where he was hurt for a lot of it. Since June, since he got back from injury, he'd looked really good, and he's kept that up since getting into a Braves uniform, and I'm really excited for him. He had a good start last night. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts as well. And then Didier Fuentes, the bullpen still looks really good. Didier Fuentes, Dylan Lee, and Raisel Iglesias all got the job done as well.
Yeah, I guess you can teach a old dog new tricks. He's got 3 quality starts out of his 4 starts at the Braves.
Really impressive.
So, that's
and this was the one start. Anything else. This was the start last night was the one that wasn't a quality start.
And that's because he only went 5 innings.
Exactly.
And he had 94 pitches in 5 innings. 6 hits, only gave up 1 earned run. That's not a bad outing. You guys still won that, right? Yeah.
Yes, still got the win. Finally got a win over a playoff team. I'm worried about the Braves going into the postseason. That there's no doubt about that. But it is what it is.
So let's shift gears here into my team, the Mariners. Obviously, big news since the last podcast. Cade Anderson had his start. Called him up, played well, gave up 2 bombs at the end of his he went 5 2/3 innings. He gave up 2 home runs as his last 2 batters. I think that's because Dan Wilson left him in too long.
Yeah, I don't like that decision.
He got
honestly.
through PCA, got through Seiya Suzuki. He gave up a double, and then they doubled up PCA, which I don't know how it even happened. I think it was a ground ball, and then he tried to go to third and slipped on the way back. So, again, a really, really lucky thing that PCA never does. And then Dan Wilson was like, yeah, I'm going to leave him in. I'm going to leave him in against one of the best offenses in the league. You don't do that. He hasn't gone over more than 80 pitches. Still played really well, and I'm really, really excited to see his next few starts. We ended up winning the series against the Cubs. We ended up winning that game, too. Brandy Rosarena. That was what a crazy end of that game. We were down 4-2 in the 9th, 2 outs, Weston Wilson double, Leo Rivas single, and to a Randy Rosarena home run to end it off. The Mariners are back, okay? But they did lose 19-2 yesterday.
I was going to say, you're leaving out something pretty important there in that.
Some funny stat, all right? So, the Mariners also lost 22-0 to the Brewers last week. You want to know who started that game?
That was Bryce Miller, right?
Bryce Miller.
Yeah,
Guess who
Bryce
started
Miller
the game
again.
yesterday that we lost 19-2? Bryce Miller. Maddox, in his last 2 starts, okay? Ready for this? The Mariners have given up 41 runs in 2 games. So there's been talks now that Kate Anderson, he's moved up in the bullpen, or he's moved up as Bryce Miller going to the bullpen. I think that's the right move.
Yeah.
You know, this 6-man rotation hasn't worked all year.
No.
It's going to give more time to guys like Wu, Kirby, Gilbert, Anderson. I mean, those are just 4 names. And Emerson Hancock, he's been dealing all season. So we got a series against the Phillies, and then we're kind of in the home run stretch. We got the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, and we enter September. It's just a breeze. We play like the Angels and the A's.
Yes, that's like
15 games out of, and the Rockies as well. And then the other 2 are like the Rangers and the Astros.
And then that 2-game series against Houston at home will be very big as well. And we talked about this on the last podcast. Get over this hump right here of this tough stretch of games. And I mean, look, yesterday was ugly, but maybe you got all of those runs out of your system right now. 19-2 was a rough one, but winning that series against a really good NL team in the Cubs, that does a lot for you as a team. And you know, it's getting interesting, Evan.
Here's the thing,
really, really interesting.
I think the only way the Mariners will make the playoffs, I don't think they're going to make the wild card. I think they'll make the AL West. The only way they're going to make it is the AL West. Okay, so either they'll be the 3 seed and the 2 seed, and that puts them on the easy side of the bracket. Puts them against a 6 seed wild card. Who could it be? The Blue Jays? Maybe. Could they screw us again? I don't think so. Okay. But then also, you're probably also put on the same side. You're going to be put on the same side of the bracket as the White Sox, who we already went over this in the podcast. I don't think they're going to have a good playoff experience. I don't think they're going to take a deep run. Yes, they're still going to make the playoffs, but are they going to make a deep run? I don't think so. And they could also get that wild card spot over Cleveland if Cleveland jumps them, which I don't think that's going to happen either.
I don't think so. Yeah,
but that side of the bracket is so wide open. I mean, the whole AL is. But the other side of the bracket is going to be Rays, Yankees, and Red Sox. Like I'm almost positive that's what it's going to be. It's pretty much set in stone that that's going to be one side of the bracket, and then the other side is going to be the other dog shit teams who shouldn't be in the playoffs to begin with somehow, and one of those teams is going to make it out of the ALCS. Do I think the Mariners, when they get into the playoffs, are going to be a better team they have been all season? Yes. Will they make the playoffs? I don't know. We'll see.
That's going to be the thing.
Now, I have not lost hope, Maddox.
Again,
we have hope over here.
We're talking about the schedule. You get a very, very favorable schedule in that September.
Easiest in baseball.
What you need to do, you have head-to-head games against the 2 teams ahead of you in the division. You got a head-to-head series against the Rangers at home, 3-game set. That would be a very big series to win. And then you've got that 2-game series against the Astros, again at home. Another very big chance to take 2 games over a team that's ahead of you. All you got to do is just stay afloat here in the next week or so and get into September with some very winnable games against the Athletics, against the Rangers, the Athletics again, the Angels, the Rockies, Astros, and the Angels again. How are you even able to get that schedule? By the way, that's fucking ridiculous.
The stars are aligning. The stars are aligning for the Mariners right now. You have to realize it because listen, this team is a team off vibes. The clubhouse vibes are an absolute low right now. There's no Gino Suarez is gone. Okay, he was the vibes guy. They need the vibes back. And listen, here's my prediction. And knock on wood. But listen, they're going to go on an absolute tear in September because look at their schedule. Everyone who has this schedule would go on a tear. They're going to be feeling themselves getting into postseason. They're going to get past. They're going to get in the ALCS. We're making a deep run, Maddox. I haven't lost hope yet. We're supposed to make the World Series this year. It's going to be our year, man. We're going to finally do it, okay? This is the year. Mark my words, if you win the World Series, I do not care if the Mariners go 50-win season for 10 next seasons. If they win the World Series this year, or even at all, mark that. It does not matter what they do. All that I care about is once they win the World Series, all of my sports, accomplishments will all be settled. That's the last box that has to be ticked off. The Seahawks won the Super Bowl. Georgia's won the Natty. Just need to see the Mariners go, and we're good. I don't have a basketball team because Sonics are gone. So
they'll get one soon. Looking at the schedules, the Mariners definitely do have the most favorable schedule. I mean, I don't think out of the teams ahead of you, there's not really much of like a gauntlet. I'd argue Baltimore having to go play New York, the Yankees in the final games of the season will be tough. Honestly, though, looking at the Guardians' schedule, I mean they're very mid team, yes, but They've got the Angels, the Royals. They got a series against the Blue Jays and the Tigers, Orioles, Twins, White Sox, A's. They do have Boston, but then they end with the Royals. That's the AL Central, though. The AL Central just sucks, so it's tough to really. They just beat each other up the whole time. So who knows what's going to happen there? It's just still too tough to predict what's going to happen. But man, oh man, isn't it interesting, man? Isn't
White
this just
Sox
so
too.
much fun?
They have a pretty all right schedule. I mean, they play the Royals, the Pirates, and they have a series against the Guardians on the road. That's going to be tough. But then they play the Twins, the Astros, and then the Twins again. They play the Rangers right now, and that's all back to back to back. Those are tough series for the White Sox. But you ended off with the Rockies and the Royals and the Tigers. So it's harder than Cleveland's schedule for sure. But again, this AL playoff race, I cannot stress it enough, and I'm sure you can say the same. Like, this is literally, like, we will be on TikTok Live probably, like, the last week watching these games because it's not going to be decided till the final day who makes the wild card. And you're probably going to see a couple teams with the same record. Oh, this team didn't make the playoffs because of this. Or we'll have an extra 163rd game.
They don't.
You never know.
Well, they don't do that anymore, though.
Oh, they don't? Oh,
no, they
man.
so they implemented like tiebreakers. It's just gonna. It could very realistically come down to like a 4-team tie for that last wild card spot, and it's, they're gonna see what the MLB is gonna have to decide there. I honestly couldn't even tell you how the tiebreaker is solved. Here's an interesting story that just came out from Bob Nightingale. The Miami Marlins, they're making some firings in their scouting department. They have ended up letting their entire scouting department go. Every single person in that scouting department is gone now. This is so what they are. What it's looking like is they're kind of preparing for a lockout. Is what it seems. Is what people are saying. They're preparing for a lockout. That way they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay anybody. They just going to let everybody go, and I guess see whenever they're able to, get baseball up and running again. I honestly can't tell you. This just looks like cheap ownership if you had to ask me. But it's pretty. I honestly don't know what's going on.
Well, also, I got some more AL West news for people interested, and I have some more Mariners news that just came out. I just got a text on my phone, actually. But with the Astros, first, I'll talk about them. Danny Brown got fired today. The GM, they're going to have Jim Crane, the owner, will oversee the operations. So, again, I think you talk about teams getting ready for the lockout.
That's what it
Maybe
seems
they
like.
are. Maybe this is it right now. Maybe we might see a lot of firings. I mean, this season there has been a lot of firings with the Red Sox. Now the Astros. There's been a lot more. The Marlins. Like, a lot of people are getting fired. I can't really think of any, but there has been a lot. And yeah, this has been a very weird season with firings. I don't know. And also another Mariners news. I'm sorry I didn't touch on this, but apparently Cole Emerson's undergoing season-ending wrist surgery. So terrific news there. I'm sure he'll be back next season.
That'd be nice.
Seems like we're gonna have J.P. Crawford as shortstop for a while. But one last thing that we should touch on probably is Ketel Marte. Again, this situation has just gotten weirder and weirder and weirder since the last time we talked about it. Apparently, he was seen gambling at Talking Stick just a couple hours down the road from us. Not even, about 40 minutes away. And now I guess he's on the IL for knee inflammation or whatever. 10-day IL, which I think is complete bullshit. Like, that's some horse shit, Maddox. Let's be honest here. He doesn't want to play with the team. His agent's just saying some bullshit because, he's being a baby bitch. That's what it is.
Yeah, this is just... I have no idea what's happening now. As of like 15 minutes ago, we've got a report from Francis Romero, who is a baseball reporter, Spanish baseball reporter in Cuba. But his report is that Ketel Marte is tentatively expected to be activated next Tuesday. That's also according to RotoWire MLB. I don't know what's going on here. From Sleeper Diamondbacks as well. So it looks like they're expected to activate him next Tuesday, but I don't have any. There's been no signs to show show me that I should believe this and I should buy this. And honestly, for any Diamondbacks fans out there, don't get your hopes up at all. Now, again, this is not a bad Diamondbacks team. They're 2
games back. I think they're not even that much back.
Fight for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're 2 games back from the wild card right now.
And arguably your best player is just gambling at talking stick. What is this guy doing? Come on.
I mean, looking at the D-backs schedule in terms of playoffs, they have a really tough schedule. You play the Cubs now, then you go play the Giants on the road, 4-game series. You never know what can happen out there. Giants have been playing well recently, but they'll probably get it done. Then you go back home, you play the Phillies, then you go on the road again. Then you go play the Astros, the Royals, another easy series. Then you go home, play the Rangers and the Marlins, and then the Yankees, and then you go on the road to the Rockies, and then this is probably going to be the season-deciding series right here, the final one against the Padres in San Diego. I mean, listen, here's the thing. If Ketel doesn't want to play for this team right now, there's no team chemistry there. Like, he's just, like, they're a month out from the playoffs, a month out. And he's just not wanting to play for the team. Again, you mentioned he's probably the best hitter on the team, maybe behind Corbin Carroll, debatable, probably not. And they're going to need him like they do. They have been winning games, but they haven't been winning as much without him. They have dropped spots in the playoffs, and that's because he's been gone. And it's not like, oh, hey, Ketel Marte's gone, our team's going to drop because Ketel's not there. No, the players are like, where's Ketel? No one's talked to him. And they must be wondering, that must be weighing on their mind. That's affecting their play. It's all psychological things right now that Ketel is doing to this team. And also him not being there is, again, obviously affecting the play. So are the D-backs going to make the playoffs, or are they going to miss the playoffs because Ketel Marte pulled this fucking stunt and he's like, my knee, I don't want to play for the D-backs. Like, you're a professional baseball player. You're getting paid millions of dollars. What do you have to complain about? All you do is go and play baseball for a living. Maddox, I would love to do that. And he's literally giving a big middle finger to every little kid that wants to be a baseball player because he's actively just not taking advantage of it. And he's been like this for years. He's been a little bitch.
Yeah, Ketel Marte, if that Tuesday comes around and he's not out there, first guy on the field, ready to play, and it doesn't hit a home run or doesn't have a crazy day or something, if they go quietly into the night as the season winds down, there's going to be a lot of talks about Ketel Marte and his character going into his future. I mean, if he wants out of Arizona so bad, doing this is not going to get other teams to want to sign you. That's the way it is. I mean, someone will obviously sign Ketel. He's a very talented player, but you'll probably be missing out on a couple millions of dollars. But probably would have went to talking stick anyways, and gambled that all away. So
and also too, like, I know the Mariners were talking about, we could trade for Ketel last year or even this year. And Josh Naylor, I remember reading reports like, he's a good guy. I mean, he's not like. And he said there was problems in the clubhouse. And that's what the Mariners ultimately decided. I think someone come out and said, like, we don't want that. That's because that's just, when you're playing a baseball team and you're in a professional league with MLB, everything has to be top-notch perfect, especially in the clubhouse. You can't be dealing with all this bullshit because it's not how you win games. When you're dealing with other shit off the field, that takes more time and more stress away from things and energy away from things that you should be doing other than playing baseball. And you should be putting all your energy, all your effort into doing this stuff. But instead, the coaches, the players running around, where's Ketel, man, at practice? Hey, have you seen Ketel? No, I haven't. Let me go text him real quick. It's just stuff like that, man. And it's these small little things that make such a huge difference that no one can measure other than Ketel's gone and he's not playing for the D-backs. That's how you can measure it. But what are the effects of that? And I'm sure after the season, we're going to hear a whole load of stuff, and I'm sure we'll have definitely a podcast about why Ketel is gone, why did he re-sign, why did he not re-sign with the D-backs, where is he going, is he getting traded, whatever, yada, 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 whatever it may be. It's mind-blowing to me. What is going on? Like, it can't be this bad, right? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I'm at a loss for words with Ketel.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So you were talking about the Astros, Dana Brown, right? Being fired now. Also, manager Joe Espada has been informed that he will not be receiving a new contract after this season. So it looks like they're going to have a double search here. They're going to have to find a GM, and he's going to have to find a manager. So it'll be interesting to see what the Astros do. As they've been on the come down for that. They had they had 2 World Series titles, 2017, 2022. Just didn't really quite get the dynasty status, I would argue. But that core is, I mean, half of them aren't there anymore, retired or old. I mean, I don't know. You don't know how much longer you got with those guys. You got Jordan, of course, but the OG guys.
Altuve, how long is he going to be able to play
Altuve's on his
for?
way out. Correa, I mean, can he stay healthy? He's also getting up there. I don't know what the Astros are going to do, but my guess would be that they might not be a team to worry about as much. I mean, of course, Jordan Alvarez is still great. But it's going to be interesting.
The one guy that I would say is young and the Astros still have good control over is Jeremy Pena.
Yes.
And he's been great. He's been leading off for them. He's had 284, 14 bombs, 41 RBIs, gets on base, league average. I think he's good in the field. I want to say, let me look up his savant here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Jeremy Pena. Yeah, no, he's not actually. He's good. Yeah, that's what he is. He's very fast, but everything else, it's all right. But he's young. They have him. He's 28. Oh, I thought he was way younger than he was. Oh, wow.
I think he just is one of those late bloomers, really.
I feel like I never heard of Jeremy Pena until last year. I don't know why I thought he was a rookie.
You don't remember? Didn't he hit a walk-off home run against y'all in the playoffs? Like,
I don't remember, dude. Like
3 years ago, I'm pretty sure.
Anyways,
yeah, I just had one more thing we want to touch on. This is going to be another thing where I'm shitting on the Braves. So we want to go through this past offseason. From 2020 in this 2026 offseason, the Braves spent about $70 million. That was Ha-Seong Kim, Raisel Iglesias extension, Robert Suarez, Tyler Kinley, Mike Yastrzemski, Mauricio Dubon, and Martin Perez. Those 7, huh?
You guys signed
was 2025. We signed him in 25.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So those 7 players, they combined for a 3.2 WAR. One of those guys, Tyler Kinley, was DFA'd. Ha-Seong Kim doesn't play; he's basically off the team, and Robert Suarez has been out for like over 2 months now. Mike Yastrzemski's been a very solid platoon bat. Mauricio Dubon has been, just a step better than Nick Allen from last year, so better than nothing. Martin Perez has been solid, and Raisel Iglesias he was really dominant at the start of the year, but he has just been awful over the last month or so. I don't know, man. The Braves stink. We are about to run out of time here. You got anything else you wanted to add, Evan?
I think that's it, Maddox. I mean, we're just getting ready for the playoffs here, so we'll be posting more frequently. Probably we'll be down at Chase Field here in the near future when we get the mics.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
We'll talk about that. Let's get together tomorrow, Maddox. We'll talk about that. Maybe we'll be back here in the edit base, just dinking around.
Right.
Yeah, when do you have class? 4 tomorrow?
No, it's gonna be at 3 tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
3 tomorrow. So 3 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 on Wednesday. Is that right?
I'll meet you at 4 here today, tomorrow. Then how about that?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, just thank you guys so much for listening. Go follow us on Instagram. Go follow us on TikTok, Spotify, of course, YouTube. We upload all of our podcasts there.
Like, comment, share the podcast.
Yes, we got YouTube Shorts up and running. There's people walking by us just like the whole time. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. We have our specialty show. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have an announcement for that. Should be a lot of fun. Those will be live. Those will be
on Blaze Radio. We'll post them to.
Yeah, they'll be live. You can listen to us live on Blaze Radio on the Blaze Radio app. We'll also be uploading those after the show to Spotify and YouTube as well. Now, I don't think that we're going to have video for that. If I'm not mistaken,
I don't think we will because
it will be audio only.
You have a thumb drive you just stick into.
Yeah, I have a thumb drive, so we will be all good. That's all from us here as we come up right on the hour mark. Maddox Martin,
Evan Morse,
Evan. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.